Hey, First Chris once again, and I already got a request, and someone named QJC who reached out to my new Instagram. So thank you, man. He wanted me to talk about a horror movie, a horror anthology, and I'm going to my movie shelf and get it. Somewhere. And what you doing here? Big ass movie collection. Can't find it in my big ass movie library, so I thought I'd just talk about it and not get the DVD out because I can't find a damn thing. But it's an anthology horror movie called Trick or Treat, and it's basically, if you don't know what Trick or Treat is, what rock I've been living under in the first place. That's my TV. And in the second place, it's basically an anthology with 4 stories. Basically a anthology with 4 stories, and one of them is about a principal who basically takes kids and turns them into jack-o'-lanterns. The second story is about basically these trick-or-treaters who go to a school bus. The trick-or-treat. Oh my god, my train of thought is off the fucking rails. They go to a rock quarry, and they basically encounter they tell a story about these mentally challenged kids on the school bus that died years ago, and they come back to kill those kids that find them. And the next one, is basically about these girls who you think they're vampires, but they turn out to be werewolves. And then the last one is about an old man who encounters a demon kid named Sam. And that's basically all of them. So, this movie, let me pull up the actual film online. Yeah. Damn it. Yeah, it's basically an anthology with 4 short stories. Each one is more elaborate than the last. And basically the first story stars the kid from Bad Santa, and then Mr. Wilkins, that's the name of the teacher. He basically gets on the porch with them, tells them about what Halloween is all about, and then he throws up a bunch of he puts cyanide in his candy basically, and he pukes up a bunch of chocolate, which was really fucked up. And he kills the kid, cuts off his head, and uses it as a jack-o'-lantern to have his son be the next him to be a serial killer. Which is probably the most goriest out of the stories. Next one is about these kids that go to a rock quarry. There's this mentally challenged girl named Rhonda, and she basically, they basically go there to prank her. They dress up as zombies, and they trick her, and then they basically get killed by the actual zombie kids, which they were telling the story about these mentally challenged kids that died in the lake. And they come back and they kill the kids. You don't see them being killed, but you can hear them being ripped apart, ripped to shreds, which was good riddance. I mean, you were assholes, so they karma bite you back. And the Rhonda girl gets out scot-free, obviously. And then comes the werewolf one, which I don't want to spoil too much. This one might be my favorite. You got Anna Paquin, who is sexy as hell, by the way. And basically these girls kidnap Mr. Wilkins, and they basically rip off their skin, and they turn to werewolves, and they eat the guy, and that's basically the whole entire story. They're werewolves, and they kill the teacher guy. I'll text my friend real quick. I'll text her later so you can wait. And then the last one is basically this guy named Mr. Creek, played by Brian Cox, and it's a very suspenseful scene where he's looking around his house, and then Sam pops out nowhere, and this jack-o'-lantern, all his walls are basically writing and written in trick or treat over and over again. And then Sam comes out, stabs him, he falls down the stairs, and Sam jumps on him, and he rips off his mask, and is basically a pumpkin head. And he shoots his arm off. He tries to call the police, no avail. And then his hand stabs him in the foot, and then his hand goes back to Sam. He puts his hand back on, which was a pretty cool effect. And he stabs the guy, but Sam turns out to stab the candy bar. Sam leaves, and that's basically it. And then the kids from the school bus come back to bite Mr. Creek in the ass, which means they kill him. And by the way, the score to this movie is great. I love it. In fact, I got a surprise to show you guys here in a minute. I love this movie. Trick or Treat is one of my favorite horror anthologies, and it's a creep show. And it's just a great movie, and it's a great anthology. Well, let me turn the computer over here. I got someone I want you guys to see. Sam, and my life-size Sam right here. Can't see him. Yeah, let me turn the computer the other way. If I could. He's right there. And it's a really cool looking prop. I got him last year for Halloween. His other head's down there, but you can literally switch his heads to whichever head you want. And it's a really cool looking prop, as you can see out Chucky and Tiffany, but he basically moves his arm up and down, and he plays the theme from the movie. It's just a really cool looking animatronic if you haven't seen my videos on it on my old channel. And I would turn it on, but I don't want to get any copyright. So with that said, thanks for watching my first requested review. Let me know what you think of Trick or Treat down below. Thanks for watching, take care, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.